You and I have a lip beautification thing going on. Lip beautification is 13 techniques. 13 techniques most relevant, modern, fashionable in 2019. I mean, these are trends. The way we work, yes, it's what is demanded by customers, what they like, what they want. Here, let's start with the classic technique. Whoa. The classic technique as we do it. The classic technique is usually done by girls who just want to improve, no special effects, no twists, no twists, no twists. They just want their lips to look naturally beautiful, more luscious, fuller. So that the small wrinkles that are on the lips, they smooth out, tighten. That's the kind of volume that gives a little volume. With this technique, if you do a lot of, if you do one syringe, then a second syringe, then a third syringe, then a fourth syringe, you can easily get these lip smacks. Basically, as with any technique. So you don't want to abuse such a thing either. As we have a recommendation that the classic recommendation is done every 6 to 8 months of the procedure. But if you really want one, you've made one, and here he is missing one. Thank you. Yeah, in 2 months, I'll add it. Correction is done, that is, the drug from 1 pack in 2 weeks. Make a note of that. Just in case. The correction is done in 2 weeks. 5 to 14 to be exact. Well, someone may have to fly away, go somewhere. Yes, we wait 5 days at least to let the swelling subside, so that we can see how the drug has become and then adjust it. Because you don't have to before that. We also have swelling, and up to 14 days. So, the drug is stored in the refrigerator if it's open. There are 2 needles in each preparation, precisely 2. For 2 purposes. First, if the needle gets dull in the process, we change it. But if we're only sure that the drug is completely used up. And the second case, well, accordingly, we leave it to correction. If we've done everything we want to do, we still have the drug left, then the old needle is thrown out, rubber pampachko close, and with a new needle this is given to store the drug for up to 2 months. It will be stored for 1 month, so it will be stored. How do I know how much to put in? So it is negotiated in advance with the client, inject a syringe or a little bit left for correction. Of course, in counseling, but we'll always check in with you. She's gonna say, I want it like this, like this, like this. We'll say, very well, we'll do it. What do we do if the drug is left behind? So we have to discuss this before the procedure so that, God forbid, you don't leave 2 needles. That's why we find out before the procedure. She'll say, well, if there's any left, let's finish whatever's left. I don't want to come anymore. So we have the classic technique. 5 millimeters from the corner. And we begin the linear technique. Let's go to the center. And the same on the bottom, along the contour. We're going through the outline. Okay, great. We have volume fulfillment going on. So this is the area we have that goes inside. We don't go in here at all. And filling the volume also in linear technique, we fill the volume. And after that, we do the kneading. Now that's a classic. And how much kneading do we take out? I don't know, our drama therapist doesn't need. She's sure of herself, there's nothing to do. Good. Let's put it this way. Now how do you lift the corners of your mouth? To raise the corners of the mouth, we have 5 millimeters here, right? From this point perpendicular to the lip line by 5 millimeters, also indent, insert the needle. Before jumping in, put the sausage about 2 millimeters in. We stop that it's a publishing, we pull it out. And then we try to turn these corners while kneading. Good. Next, how do you twist the upper lip? Wrenching technique. The technique is the same as when lifting the corners, only we are already going perpendicular to the entire contour. Okay, what's in here? And here. The same. No, same thing. Same thing, same thing. You have an injection. Yeah. I mean, these are the exact same injections, just like this. Yes. Not like this. You need volume. So there you have it. And in that case, we don't put the volume in here, because we have it all crammed in here. Yes. I mean, there's this, you can do both. If you have enough of the drug, you can go either way. Anything you can think of. So you'll know all the techniques now. And you have, for example, planned to do something before the procedure. I did this. And then as you go along, you realize your hand is begging to add here, more here. You will know everything and already like this artist to use. Good. We'll be the ones with the Parisian technique. That is, in the Parisian technique, it is mandatory to indent 5 millimeters upwards from the edge of the lip. And just like that, we fill the volume. Okay. If we need to emphasize the contour. To emphasize the contour, we either use a stiffer filer, but that's as a last resort. That is exactly to go over the outline, so that it holds such a framework, so that it is clear. I think so. Anything else? How else to emphasize the contour? I don't know. A double dose, maybe, and on style. We're backing off, are we? 2 millimeters and go above the line. Would that be an underline, no outline? No, if we put a nice sausage here, we'll have outline emphasization. That is, we do not go along the contour itself, but we go above the contour. There's the asymmetry. How do you correct asymmetry? Asymmetry, as usual, we either go over the contour at once, or, if we have a good hand, we indent immediately, for example, 2 millimeters here. 1 to 2 millimeters. And we pass only already in double dose, where there is, apparently, asymmetry. And then when kneading, you can either go over the contour as usual, and then additionally go a little higher. And in kneading, it's already fixed. Good. The Parisian technique is here. So, with the Parisian technique, well, I think the outline is common here. And here, I think, by 5 millimeters. And also like this. Okay, correct technique now. The right technique is from the same Kool-Aid. We can put in 3 sausages. So we're going into the corners at the top. And just like that. 1 injection, 2 injections, 3 injections. Same here. 1, 2, 3. Well, you can either have 3 or 2 at the bottom. I think depending on what the client wants to grow. This is also after the fact. To make the lips bow. A bow. Probably, I think so, 5 millimeters from here from the top. And then inwards here, so we'll have a bow. Well, naturally, I think it will be on the floor, too. And here's another one. So here we have it, you see the bow formed. And when eating, we'll pack it in a bow too. That is, respectively, the lips bow, yes, we have a fan turns out to be 5 millimeters higher, we make an injection. And on the bottom, what do you think we're going to do if we want a bow? I think we're going to do the bottoms then. If you want a bow, it should be like this. So there's more volume here, there's more volume here, I don't know. We're keeping these. Because if we put a Vernina here, it's going to be so chubby. I don't think she's going to look. But there are bows on different planes. If we're talking like this now on the plane, then this is the technique. Here's a bow, here, here. And if we look in profile, she wants them to be this chubby. That's her nose. Chin, eye. If that's the way she wants it, yes, you can put a third fan in the center. So the whole lip would be this plump. Okay, fine. Angelina Jolie's lips. What's the point of this technique? The point is that we leave the Torito empty to get either the bottom or the top. So, when we fill the volume, we come to this point, that is, we don't fill the middle. It makes this dimple, and it's the same underneath. What line are you on right now? You can't have this one. What about the circuit? With the outline, we go over the outline as usual. Volume only by linear technique. You can do volume and fan set. We have a point, remember, so that there's no drug in the middle. Fill in with the fan technique on the side and also on this side. Depending on if the client wants it higher, then we'll just do a Coke. The bottom line is this. I think she's Angelina Jolie downstairs. Look, by the fans. Here you have fans. How else do you lay fans down? Okay. I mean, you can, look, we have the fan technique. In addition to doing fanning and volume, yes, you and I can basically work fanning techniques. So we are, as we start from here, yes, into the volume on the contour. Into the volume on the contour. I mean, we get it from one hole at a time. I think she's going to suffer either way. That makes some sense. I mean, you can try it sometime. Contour and volume, contour and volume. Maybe when you have your hand to do a quick thing, and you have 10 people already in line there, you don't have time for volume to volume right away. Volume contour. We went to the same way from the bottom to can this fan lay in the volume contour. That is 3 directions on here too. We have contour volume, and here you can too in the volume contour. That is as you go. For example, if you are in a hairy introduced field that is not enough, you add it here, and along the contour accordingly. The contour we can also hear volume, and contour. For example, here we went a little bit back off. Then this is where we'll do the fuku. Yeah, that's if she wants to get a big lip enlargement. How many maximum number of fans from one point can there be? I think as much as you want. The correct answer is, that is, as far as your imagination and manual dexterity go, you can put as many fans from one point. Especially now we get to the other techniques, it's kind of in there. Okay, fine. Threading technique. Thread technique with the help of the wands. You said about the wands, yes, it is possible with the help of the main thing that the result was good. Here, when we work with a sponge, Bo and Angelina Jolie lip techniques, when we don't need volume in the center, we can fix it with thread. Usually the thread is held by the customer as you put it up. And you work so there's definitely no way you're going to be centered here. Here, appropriately, is where. It seems to me that if you enter here, you won't enter in the center either. There's not much need for a thread. Just to show off to the customer that this is the new equipment. Here we go. Next. And then, appropriately enough, there are these two fancy techniques. It's a TP technique and a glassy technique. They look alike. How is she fashionable? Well, what do you mean by what? The whole lip was torn apart. Did you watch my video where I gave my review? Listen, she's fancy on the glass. A lot of clients have come in since then. It kind of takes away just the popularity. I mean, there's no getting away from it. It's only getting more and more popular. I actually even watched her pitch this technique to myself in a seminar. He had nothing to do with the courier. Yes. How does it give? So the lips were like this, and the lips are like this. So they turn out more round. No, it's a planar magnification technique, that is, in the plane. And here even the drug can go not 1 milliliter, but 0.5, less. So it's not about volume here, it's about rolling the lips. Let's start with the glass technique. They have the same result. The TP technique and the glass technique have this flat lip augmentation. In both drug techniques, only 0.5 liters may go away. And both of these techniques have the goal of twisting the lip as much as possible. Mostly working with the upper lip, of course, but the lower there is more of a classical technique. So on the upper lip, what do we have going on in the glass technique? There's such a fan, isn't there? The fan, you already have an idea of how it's done. We'll have multiple directions, vectors, from one injection point. So how's he doing? It's done in the glassy technique. So we're right on point, huh? The point can be either on or above the line. You already remember, don't you? Depending on how much she needs to smear her lip. So here's the puncture point. And you and I insert the needle fully 13 millimeters. Inject it. And then we draw it back out with a dotted line. That is, if in conventional contouring we injected, press the piston and put the drug. In this technique we injected and not one movement, and we have a dotted line. That is, we dragged, pushed on the piston, dragged, pushed on the piston, dragged, pushed on the piston, dragged, pushed on the piston. I mean, it's happening fast in general. 1. That's it. So we're pushing, kind of punctuating. Yeah, little tiny little dots of the drug. Next we reach 1 millimeter to the exit, turn the needle around to the other side. And that's exactly what we do by. The fan is put in and the dotted line is taken out. Then the next and dotted line is pulled out. Next and dotted pull out. So these two techniques, the TP technique and the glass technique, flat lip augmentation, and it's done in areas where you can't do it. I mean, it's going into this area. Down to the mucus. That is, if we have a line of prohibition in the usual techniques, you can't do it here, you can still reach here with this technique. Well, it's dangerous, of course. Yeah, there's a lot of complications there. So this fan here, let's say it got here, you put it down. And next you have the square work. There's your lip square. It needs to be worked all the way through with these dotted lines. That's why you put the fan here. Next, you can start it from here. This one you can start here. That is not fundamental, there are no as if some strictly on the line, we begin to enter. You see where it's not, you put it there. And you need to go over the entire lip area with this technique. Punctuated. Going behind the line, right here. But you have to know that you can do that. Here you go. So it is executed in this way. And the second nuance, the fact that it's done in the top layer. The same thing that's not allowed in classical techniques. Well, I mean, in the top layer, yes, we are working. Very close to the surface. And dotted line. Accordingly, when pulling the needle out finally, here we have introduced the fan, work, dotted. And we want to get the needle out now. We pull it out, and with the other hand we press down on the whole thing, so we smear it. That's the technique. She'll get there. This world. It's amazing that it's coming from the periphery. But they don't know as much about her in St. Petersburg as they do everywhere else, in all corners of Russia. But she's coming this way with confidence. So that's the technique, that's the glass and TP technique. Look, you don't want to, we won't. All the more reason to go. Next. According to the TP technique, that is, it is also performed with fans, also in the upper lip layer, and we also go behind the zone. But there's going to be a nuance here, which is, if in the case of the glass goes in a dotted line, then here we have a tick that goes like this, that is, we inserted the needle and on the way back that is, we mechanically damage all the tissues that are all the way down in zigzags, so we strip all this tissue, put a thin filler there and seal it at once. And this might only take 0.5 of the drug. Yes. Okay, and that's how many injections, how many sausages, how many. Yeah. But it's the mechanics that are in favor here. Because of the mechanics. Due to mechanical failure. Here you go. Now tell me again the steckless and TP. Just so I'm sure that, we found out. So we go over the glass as well along the contour, right? Or are we not going through the outline at all? Are we just starting inward already? Working on the contour, yes. By the way, the outline here is a very crisp, beautiful outline in this technique. So this is how we fill the volume. And on the contour we have, yes, it's definitely going, here even, maybe 1 millimeter higher. Make sure it's clear. Do we fill in the outline over the background first? No, the outline is at the end. Well, so much for the glass technique. when we hollow and fan fill technique. Kind of volume. It doesn't really matter where we're going to inject the eye from, we need to fill in. In what way? With the right technique, punctuated. Punctuated. And at the end, so that there is a clear contour, we either go over the contour, or they're a millimeter or two higher. Alright, next. TP is the same, with the correct technique, only when we exit we needle work as a zigzag. When we pull the needle out, work like a zigzag. Okay, and what are options for lower lip work? With the lower lip. Well, generally speaking, everyone's lower lip is slightly larger than their upper lip. Well, I think it's probably just either classic or classic, probably volume and, go over the contour. But it depends what she wants. I don't know, maybe she wants to flatline this one here. What if it wants to be flat here? Well, it's not gonna work that way. Up here, you see, there's a hole. We can't smear it. And the top one is how much space there is on the clubs. So we have then with the glass technique we just fill in the lower lip as a classic. Yes, depending on the goal, which is what one wants. Or, let's say, just update her volume. Settle, just an update. Okay, and just to update the lip moisturizer, how do we do it? Moisturize your lips, for example, with a preparation. Goes into the downwind. Princesses, huh? Princess Glacier. There's a product that goes on just as a moisturizer. And that's how we do it, like the classic technique. We go along the contour in the same way, filling the volume. It just gives you moisturization for 2 weeks, right? For how much? Well, also for 6 to 8 months. But it doesn't increase anything at all. Well, the first 3 days are swollen, then they're gone. So they're just going to be like, yeah, like you see, no oats, but tall. Going out on a loop, yeah. Inhale. I think a little more pressure, don't you, on the meow. Inhale. Breathe, reach, delay. Meow check. The sequel follows. Good. Okay. We also go around the corners, right, along the contour. And then on the Vegiscaya, yeah, right down the bottom. Get out. Let's go now. Not mud, but very good. Do the volume down or Parisian style first. Parisian. Raise the beams and let's go. That's it. Go. Use your finger to immediately fix it the way you want it. Good. Two. Bottom. The bottom one is three-dimensional. You'll get caught too. Thank you. The sequel follows. I have one more thing to add. I hope I'm leaking. Do some reading here. I think the antenna is in my head. How much of the drug is left? Almost nothing. And lo and behold, as you can see, I can't say it isn't. The sequel follows. Open, close, kill. What's the counting? Yes, how you God will start. You cannot fix, agree on what? If you feel sick or need to rest, tell everyone to have the ribs removed. Anything to get some rest. And breathe. Breathe deeply. Yeah, why? Started on one side, went, well. Yes, twist it out harder, pull it toward you and work it. More did and chicken inhale. Very good. Aha. Even more superficial. Superficial. Remember, we don't put so much drug here, we work mechanically. Great, Anechka. Aha, hold on, aha, we'll print it right away. How do we feel about you? That's great. Beautiful. Let's move. Very good. Well done. Scoop, scoop. Is everything okay? Is it tolerable? Well done. That's pretty good. Breathe deeply, don't hold your breath. Good. It collapsed a little bit. That's it, that's it, that's it, that's it, my good man, that's it. I need to rest. Do we rest or do we continue? We could go on. Well, the sequel follows. Good. Let's keep working. What do you want to do? I want to go from here. Yes. Yes. Ideally, when the whole lip is stretched, then that's her maximum. I mean, you won't need any more. Well, there are, you see, still some fine lines. Can we not make it too easy? It won't be much. Don't worry. Tanya, well done. Breathe, breathe. It'll be easier. Good. Just such beautiful lips. How business will go now. Do I start without any more muss? Yes. With an online store of your own, buy clothing. Aha. Well done. Breathe. It seems that since he doesn't want to, there's no point in the whole syringe. No, of course not. Yes, more correct, if anything. But between the lips is a beautiful one of its own. Thank you. Aha. Aha. We go over the contour superficially too. The worst is over. Yes, yes. That's it. Very good. Well done. Floor sock. More. Well done. Well done. Breathe, breathe, breathe. 1, 2, 3. Run, run, run. Tony, we're almost done. Here you go. And a little closer to the corner. Well done. Smart girl, smart girl. All. Let's make our beautiful nooks, which. And that's it, then down a little bit. Breathe, breathe. Oh, that's great. Breathe. Breathe. Change from where? Bottom mouth. A little bit. Good. Breathe, breathe. Breathe, 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 breathe. And the last corner in the contour. Don't you need a vacation? Or should we go through? Yes. A vacation. I'm thinking rest, wipe everything down, and let the mirror. Because there's already a good job done here. We're taking out the corner. I'm such a needle I won't throw it away. We have it there.